Tesla lost the global EV war in 2025. Not might lose. Lost. BYD sold 2.26 million all-electric vehicles last year. Tesla sold 1.64 million. That's not a close race. That's a 600,000 unit gap. And it happened while Tesla's sales dropped almost 10% year over year. So here's the question nobody in America wants to sit with. If BYD is already crushing Tesla everywhere else on the planet, why does it feel like Tesla still owns this category here? The answer isn't better engineering. It isn't brand loyalty. It's a wall the US government built, and Tesla didn't have to lift a finger to get it. BYD cannot sell a single passenger car in the United States. Not because Americans don't want one, not because the cars are bad. It's a 100% tariff stacked on top of the standard import duty that pushes the effective rate past 127% on anything with Chinese origin. Do the math on that. A BYD Seagull costs around $10,000 to $14,000 in China. Slap a 127% tariff on it, and you're staring at a sticker price north of $25,000 for what's basically an entry-level city hatchback, and that's before shipping, compliance, and dealer markup even enter the conversation. The tariff isn't a speed bump. It's a total blockade, and it was designed to be one. This started under Biden in 2024 when the tariff on Chinese EVs got quadrupled from 25% to 100% almost overnight. The stated reason was protecting American manufacturing jobs and pushing back on Chinese state subsidies that let BYD undercut everyone on price. Trump kept it. Nobody in Washington, Republican or Democrat, has any appetite to open that door. BYD has publicly said U.S. entry isn't viable under these conditions, and it's even looked at building a plant in Mexico to get around the tariff through USMCA. That loophole doesn't work either. U.S. Customs treats country of origin by where the technology and components actually come from, not where the badge gets bolted on, and a Chinese-designed car assembled in Tijuana is still a Chinese origin car in the eyes of the law. So let's be honest about what Tesla's real competitive advantage is in 2026. It's not the full self-driving package. It's not the supercharger network. It's a piece of federal trade policy that keeps its most dangerous competitor locked out of the building. Take that tariff away for 1 year and watch what happens to Tesla's American market share. Now picture it. Picture BYD walking into U.S. showrooms tomorrow with the same pricing it runs in Thailand, Brazil, or the U.K. In the UK, the BYD Dolphin starts around 29,700 pounds against 31,700 pounds for a Model 3. Barely any gap. In Australia, a Dolphin undercuts a comparable Model 3 by roughly 24,000 Australian dollars. Rest of world actually checked 10 markets outside the West where both companies sell head-to-head, and BYD was cheaper than Tesla in every single one. Not most, all 10. That's not a coincidence. That's blade battery tech and a vertically integrated supply chain that Tesla simply can't match on cost because BYD makes its own batteries, its own semiconductors, and controls its own lithium processing. Tesla buys from suppliers. BYD basically doesn't have to. Drop a Seagull into the U.S. market at something close to its real price, and you're looking at a sub-$15,000 electric car with a warranty, air conditioning, and a touchscreen, going up against a Nissan Versa and a Chevy Trax instead of against a Tesla. That's the part American car shoppers don't fully register yet. BYD's entry-level lineup doesn't just threaten Tesla's Model 3. It threatens the entire gas-powered economy segment, the Corollas and Civics and Sentras that have owned the under $25,000 bracket for decades. If that tariff wall came down, this wouldn't be a two-way fight between BYD and Tesla. It would be BYD versus the entire American auto industry, all at once, on price alone. And BYD isn't some scrappy underdog trying to break in. It's already the largest EV manufacturer on Earth by volume. It's assembling cars in Brazil. It's expanding fast through Latin America and Southeast Asia. And it's reportedly in talks to supply battery technology to Ford for plants outside the U.S., which tells you something uncomfortable. American automakers are quietly negotiating with the exact company their own government is blocking at the border. Ford wants BYD's battery tech. It just can't have BYD's cars competing on Ford's home turf. Here's the part that should actually bother people on either side of this. Protectionism worked. That's not spin, That's just what the numbers show. BYD is nowhere in the U.S. car market, and Tesla, despite a brutal year of declining global deliveries and Musk's political baggage tanking consumer sentiment in multiple countries, still gets to operate at home with zero direct pressure from the one company beating it everywhere else. Critics call that a subsidy for Elon Musk dressed up as national security policy. Supporters call it the only thing standing between American manufacturing and a Chinese EV flood that already happened to Europe's auto industry. Both of those things can be true at the same time, and that's exactly why this fight isn't going away. So the real story isn't Tesla versus BYD, it's Tesla versus a 100% tariff wall standing in for Tesla. Take the wall down, and this stops being a debate about who builds a better car. It becomes a debate about whether the American auto industry, as it exists today, can survive contact with a competitor that's already beaten Tesla at its own game on every continent that lets it play.